Hello and welcome to the 10th edition of Xbox League Racing's Week in Review series. First of all, I just really want to say that I'm really pleased that we've been able to get to Week 10. It's just incredible and thank you all for so much support. But to the video, we've got 3 races to cover this week, BBS, WOR.LD and NRC. But of course, we're all here for the big team news that happened this week. So let's get right into that. First big news of the week, of course, came when PSR was announced to be closing. First, owner Burat announced that he would be stepping back from the game and retiring the PSR name. And this, in conjunction with Wexro's announcement that he would also be stepping back from the game, led to the closure of one of the best teams that we've ever seen on console. This, of course, left a lot of PSR's drivers homeless and without a team, but I'll get onto this in just a minute, because there was other big team closure news to talk about, with Parnell Racing also shutting down this week. Supposedly because they didn't acquire the license to become Red Bull's junior development team. That is of course rumour, so don't take that as gospel. But once again, this closure of Parnell led to a huge number of drivers being without a team, just like with PSR. And what I've tried to do is get all of the drivers from both of these teams here, so please do let me know if I've missed anyone, because there is a huge pool of talent from Xbox, from PlayStation, and from PC as well, but those aren't covered here, that have been left without a team just in the last week. And we're just going to get onto some of these guys that have already been announced to new teams now. So what we first saw was actually OP, who are a very established PlayStation team, beginning to expand into Xbox now, with yesterday, on Sunday, announcing their first 3 Xbox drivers as Rusty Sir Kettle, Ogwin, who actually left NVR this week to join OP, and Quantum. And surely there'll be more signings from the end of Parnell, as well as possibly some PSR drivers that will be announced to OP in the coming days. Sticking with Xbox just for now, some of PSR's Xbox drivers also were announced this week, with Nick moving to MVR, Placky to TTM, and Arch to Shazoo, who was actually joined by FRT's Rain, who's coming back from his break now at Shazoo. However, with a lot of PSR's Xbox roster yet to be signed to a team, rumours are swirling that TF10 will also be expanding onto Xbox now, and picking up a lot of those drivers to compete at the top level. Running at Xbox for this week was Furious' move back to his roots of BRT after the closure of PR. Continuing a big week for Shazoo on PlayStation, Parnell's Noel and Renz completed a move to the Scottish team. It also looked for a bit like we might see the return of TF, taking back over the PlayStation side of PSR. But with this tweet now being deleted, who knows what will happen to the PlayStation side of PSR. Of course, the case is that after I've been editing this section, this is announced, but TF have essentially rebranded into F7R Esports, and it's basically what TF was, or the PlayStation side of PSR, stayed all together, just under a new logo and a new name. Finally, it looked like it might be a tricky next few weeks for NLR, who had several departures over the weekend, including manager Jay Wizzy, Ruti Hullett, and Alex DeGu. Round 9 of BBS was the first of a double-header at Qatar in combination with World, and it was Parnell's Matthew Kettle taking pole position, with the Parnell driver being the only man setting a time in the 1:19s. It was an MVR 2-3 of Drobble and Bowman behind him, with PSR's Choco in 4th place.
In the night sky of Qatar, it's 5 lights on. And we go in the desert. It's a good start, it looks like, for Kettle as he launches it off the start line. And he's drawn in front of... Oh, for fuck's sake. He's drawn in front of Drobble. Bowman right round the outside of Drobble as we look backwards from the perspective of Kettle. And Liam Bowman does get that move. Drobble washes out. He's down to P4. He might lose to P5. No, he won't. We go side by side with Choco now in towards turn number 5. No, he just sits in behind. A safe move there. As Magician and Quantum scrapping it out through the end of the first sector.
Although Parnell's Matthew Kettle may have kept the lead off the start, Liam Bowman only took till lap 3 to take the lead, while Sav already broke into the top 10 after starting 18th on the soft tyres. With the race seeing a long DRS trail in play, covering the whole field pretty much, people began to box at the end of lap 12, with Sav making the first move, dumping off his soft tyres, undercutting several places in the process. But as the race entered its final stages, it was MVR at the top of the field, and they tried to defend their drivers' positions using a bit of a roadblock.
As Quantum gets past Kettle towards turn number 1, and it's side by side for Novus again. Novus just being a rolling roadblock. I think that's what they think is their best bet of getting this race win.
Quantum's using DRS.
Yeah, but he can't find a way past. They are just doing a rolling roadblock. Drobble's been off the track. Yeah. Drobble. Bit of contact between the two. It's all sorts of side-by-side action here now.
As now, I think that's not a dive, but anyways,
It's going to be...
will win, but with his 6 seconds, it's going to be trouble. But can he actually... This pushing...
Quantum on Sav! Sorry, Ogween on Sav. Ogween takes Peter on the line. Sorry to butt in there.
That mess up with the roadblock didn't stop the Danish driver from taking the win in the end though, as it was one of the few drivers who kept it clean without any penalties. NVR's Ogween was another without a penalty, and he rose several places on the line to finish second and ensure an MVR 1-2. Sav was third, whilst Bowman dropped 8th despite winning on track, with MVR's Chelsea also finishing 5th, securing a very good result for MVR. The result, however, crowned PSR champions just the day before their closure, whilst Parnell also gained more ground in the hopes of a top 3 finish. On to WOR.LD on Tuesday night then, also at Qatar, and we saw some really fast time in the qualifier due to the sprint grip being much faster, and it was Sam Gamer for Parnell that took pole position.
Right. Thought red lights are going out for the sprint, caught us off guard there, but we are getting going, and it is lights out and away we go. On lap 2 out of 10 apparently, but Sam Gamer leads the way on the run towards turn 1. Sav and Erpek were alongside as well, and it looks like actually we've got a bit of ghosting going on potentially with these guys at this moment in time. I'm not sure if that is coming up on your screen as well, but Sam Gamer leading the way from Erpek there in second, Sav there in third, and Sav actually goes around the outside. There's contact further down.
Going on, Ruti Gullit seems to be safe from XF1 behind, but XF1 is really close behind him, so Ruti must not have a mistake as he's got to try to jump back onto the straight. Sav though closing up a lot to NLR Erpek. This is his moment, he's got to try and get past. He's so close to the back of Erpek. Erpek having a great last sector now. Off the track goes Sav, who gained an advantage from that, but he's going to come through the final corner now. Is it going to be enough for Sav? Does he have enough battery? Can he get ahead of NLR Erpek? He's got the DRS advantage towards the straight. They come towards the finish line. It's going to be so close. PSR Sav pulls across the inside, and it's PSR Sav that wins the Qatar sprint race in the WR Legacy Division.
Sam Gamer though would be passed by Sav and Erpek during the race, with Sav going in to take the win right on the line, whilst Ruti Gullit in 4th and Erpek in 2nd picked up some great points for NLR, who were at the bottom of the table before this.
5 red lights. See them all line up on the grid. PSR Sav, Erpek alongside him. It is lights out, and away they go off the grid. Sam Gamer seems to be getting a nice little rolling start there. Ruti Gullit getting away as well. Bad start for BRT Magician, dropping all the way down, but into turn 1 they come there. PSR Sav still leading the way, but Sam Gamer thinking about getting ahead of NLR Ruti Gullit, and he does get ahead of Ruti Gullit. And XF1 also getting past Ruti as well. He's also having a great start. Through he goes. XF1 at the P4. Liam Bowen still in behind in P6. Ian Van Unen and Vola Congan going wheel to wheel there. Ian Van Unen coming ahead of Vola Congan in P8. Louis Valentine go for the move on the outside of Vola Congan into turn 4. Now turn 5 they come. Vola Congan trying to hold it on the inside. Off the track of Louis Valentine. And I believe Vola Congan will claim that position. But up the inside again comes Louis Valentine. Around the outside tries it on Grimbos. Louis Valentine still wheel to wheel with Vola Congan as he'll come into the next corner at turn 8. They're so close together. Louis Valentine and Vola Congan. Vola Congan really trying to get the position on P8, but Louis Valentine not giving up as easy as he might think it, as he's got the inside line for the next corner. Can he keep it close to that apex and get that position done? It looks like he has. It's Louis Valentine. It's an look at Grimbos as well up the inside of Suzu Vola Congan.
Before we get into this race properly, there's some really important strategy things that we need to know for this race. So, because of the sprint format, the tyre wear is actually much higher than it would be in a normal race. So a lot of drivers are actually going to attempt a 2-stop here, because a 1-stop strategy is going to risk puncturing, just like this.
Van Unen in third. We see Magician now, and has he got a puncture or a bit of contact, or has he run out of fuel?
Double puncture for Benzo. Front right and back left of his tyres are gone. It took 13 laps on the hard tyres for them to puncture.
Valentine's got a puncture, and he has indeed. Front left puncture on the front of the car, and that unfortunately is a flat tyre. If that was 70 mile an hour down the motorway, he'd be absolutely done for.
So as we headed into the final stage of the race, the running order looked like this with the tyre life as well. Sav and Bowman leading on the 2-stop strategy, with Erpek, both Parnell drivers, Vola Congan and Sergio trying to hold out on that 1-stop for the final few laps. And it all led to a dramatic last lap, with Sav trying to make his way right through to the win.
Back of Ian Van Unen, 2.7 seconds off, could still do it.
This really could be one for the ages if it doesn't end up being a puncture for these drivers. Ian Van Unen and Sam Gamer picking up a great result for Parnell.
Oh, he's got a front puncture!
He's Erpek, he's second! He's got a puncture as well, as you said, puncture for NLR Erpek. Is it going to happen for Ian Van Unen and Sam Gamer official? It's heartbreak for NLR and Erpek. Is it going to be the same for Ian and Sam? They've got to be absolutely trembling with fear, thinking, oh no, please don't let it happen to us as well. Sam is right on the back of them both now. Ian Van Unen, there'll be a moving roadblock block for these two. Airpick losing all the positions now. With all the calling put up into P4, he's got to watch his tyres as well. But Sam up the inside of Ian Vernon, and Ian can try to defend as much as he can, but he's not got the tyre grip. He's lost everything he's done. Sav goes through, and Sam Gamer is only 8.5 tenths up the road. Make it 7, make it almost 6 between Sav and Sam Gamer. Sav is pushing everything he's got. Sam Gamer, no puncture for him. It's looking like it could be 2 in a row for Parnell Racing and Sam Gamer. They've got one more sector to go with just sector 3. Flat out here. Fire with the night corner as well. The tyres will be wearing and wearing and wearing. It could be a sprint repeat though. It's Sav. It's right on the back. But Sav Gamer's got so much more battery. Off the track goes Sav. He's got no battery to help him out. It's just DRS for Sam Gamer official. It's just DRS for PSR Sam, sorry. Sam's got no, he moves, darts out the way. He crosses back across. It's Sam Gamer official and Parnell Racing. They've done it once again in WR Legacy Division. It's PSR Sam settling for second. But Sam Gamer in the end.
Despite Erpek's puncture, the rest of the one-stop runners dramatically held on to the line and taking home a 1, 3, 5 and 6 for those guys that stayed out on the one-stop. So it really was profitable to go for that strategy, even though it was such high risk. And that leaves the standings looking just like this, with OP right at the top of the table, followed by MVR and now a defunct Parnell. So it would be actually Team Shazoo in 3rd place. Heading into NRC though, and the standings look like this, with obviously PSR going closing, it leaves OP at the top of the standings again. So it's been a really successful week for them recently, and going into Q2, because with the amount of quali bans that we had, everyone qualified through Q1 very easily. So it was just GL, both GL drivers and FRT losing a driver in this session. That left Nick for MVR to take pole by 2.5 tenths from Shazoo Tom, whilst a couple of drivers, Stefano and Justin, struggled to even start a lap in Q3.
They look towards turn 1, 5 red lights are on, ahead of the drivers, and it is almost waiting, lights out, and away we go. PSR Nicholas getting a good restart ahead of Shazoo Tom. He gets a good start and Tom gets ahead, but look at the battle between Enzo and Gabor behind. Into turn 1 to come. Tom is up the inside of PSR Nick, and Tom gets the lead of the race nice and early on, as I expected. Tom got a good start, and Tom is ahead of PSR Nick in the turn 1. Oh, big collisions behind between drivers. NLR driver involved in that, along with an FRT driver as well. They carry on through turn 1, and it's Shazoo Tom leading the way through turn 6.
With the VSC being brought out on lap 11, most of the field took this as an opportunity to stop off the hard tyres and onto the mediums. But it took until lap 24 for the race to really hot up.
Is he going to get the place done? Nick, oh, there's contact made between Nick and Tom. That's caused Tom to go into a bit of a half spin. This is allowing Stefano to maybe try and get past Nick, but this could be 3 wide now as they head down the main straight. No, Stefano backs out of it. He don't want to be involved and get too much damage. He knows what's at hand for FVR. Nick round the outside of Tom. Oh. There's contact made. Tom is sent spinning round, and after such a brilliant display, Tom is now down and falling out of the points.
Looking like it's going to be MVR's first ever time taking a race with an NRC. It's PSR Nick, their newest star boy. Signed as FVR Stefano. Looks to the inside lane, it's chicane. It's not going to be important now though. It's PSR Nick. Rims the final corner. It's Nick and MVR that win in NRC Japan. GL Enzo, big battle across the lane. It's Enzo that takes P2. Stefano in P3. Dan home in P4.
Nick took home the win there, although that position may be in doubt with some penalties hanging over his head from G-League's Enzo, FVR Stefano and FRT's Dan in P4 on their debut race, whilst OP finished 5th and 6th in a good recovery from the back of the field with their qualifying bounds. So coming up next week, we've got BBS at USA, AEC Hungary, WOR at France and NRC at Portugal, with World taking a break week. And my prediction for this week is that the teams that have had big transfer weeks this week, so Shazoo and OP, are actually going to struggle on track this week in the tournaments, BBS, AEC and NRC. I don't know why I think that. I just think it's a transition period for both teams, and they're obviously going to both be strong in the long run, but I think this week they might just struggle a little bit. Anyway, though, that is everything for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I know it's been a super busy week, and I'm sorry the video is a day late. Yeah, cut me some slack. I just thought that this was the best way to make the video as good as possible, because there's lots of news coming out all the time. But thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.